does it now look darker? This is why I do this during the daytime. Okay, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. All right, guys, make yourselves comfortable. Welcome in. I keep thinking it's Tuesday and it's definitely Monday, so happy Monday. If you're new here, hi, hello. The lighting in this room right now is absolute garbage, so I apologize. My patrons know that I have like an epic years-long struggle with figuring out lighting. I just don't have the Anyway, happy Monday. My name is Nimue. I'm a professional psychic intuitive and evidential medium, and I don't know how long I'm going to be on tonight. I wanted to try to get at least 2 connections before I sign off for the evening and go to bed. I usually do these during the daytime, so it's rare that you're going to see me at night. But definitely thank you for tapping the screen. I think we're going to begin around 5K. Once we can get up to 5K, let the For You page know what's up. Get some more people in here so we can get a nice group field. Oh, Janice, thank you so much for the rose. Hi, Amber. Welcome in, you guys. Welcome in. How are we doing? How has Monday treated everybody? I'm excited. I'm excited to see who we connect to tonight. Like my way of tapping into confirmation if I should like go on and do a demonstration is now like it changes. Like spirit will sometimes change how, always changes, I think, how it communicates, but I get this like jolt of like, oh my God, this is gonna be so good. So that was the confirmation I needed to want to come on. Keep tapping that screen, you guys. Once we're up to 5K, we'll open the waiting room door. We'll see who wants to walk through. The way that I do these readings is I do not choose somebody prior to the reading in the chat. I kind of just see who's there, bring the evidence forward. And if the folks in the chat or if somebody in the chat can connect to about like 98 to 100% of the evidence coming through, that's when we start getting the reading a little bit more one-on-one. Now, as many other mediums, as this happens to many other mediums, I get pancaked a lot. I get a lot of like multiple people will start to claim like 99%, which is not people making that up. There's just a lot of similarities in our lives, and just know that sometimes can happen where multiple spirits can kind of come through at the same time. If you're listening and you can take like 75% of what comes through, like you understand 75 or even like 80% of what comes through, that is what we call a postcard. That is your loved one dropping in just to give you a quick wave, letting you know that they're around. I get postcards all the time from my friends in spirit. One guy in particular, one friend, my friend Rick, is always dropping in. My uncle Jim has been showing up a lot recently too. So Noelle, thank you for the follow. Tiffany, thank you so much. Is anybody new here? Do you guys have any, as we wait for people to come in, do you guys have any questions? My eye makeup, I've been driving, I've been working like all day since about 11, so I look a little schlubby. Danielle, welcome. Happy to have you here. Katrina, thank you for the follow. One other thing too, this is a little bit of an aside, but at the end of the demonstration, hello, any patrons or subscribers will get a automatic general single card. Sometimes it's more than one card pull. That's just part of the deal for those that are subscribed to my various things. Shoot, Icarus. Maybe I have an answer. Thanks, Danielle. I try. I like these to be fun. I think mediumship should be fun. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It can be deeply healing. I also think it should be very fun. I think that's why I've had so many fur babies come through recently. The past several times I've done this, dogs have been the one to kind of like start the entire session. Not sure that I'm feeling that tonight, but we're gonna. I think I feel a person more than I feel a fur baby right now. But we're gonna have them wait just a little bit longer just so we can get a few more people in here. Do you guys have any questions about this process? Any questions about mediumship before we get going? Once we're at 5K is when we would. Jennifer, you wish your dog would come through. Well, listen for postcards. This is another thing we can kind of all do before we get into this demonstration is as like you're waiting, as you're kind of like, building up your anticipation, take some like really deep breaths into the heart space. You could imagine light just filling up your heart. It's the light of the love that you have for your loved ones. It's the light of love that they have for you. And you can do that a couple of times. And I feel like this is part of what sitting in the power is for me, is I just imagine that like my heart becomes almost like an antenna, like a lightning rod to not attract, that's not quite the right word, to connect, to blend with the love and the light in the spirit realm. Excuse me. I'm good, Heather. How are you? Icarus, did you have a question? Sometimes the questions get filtered. So a couple of things also before we start. Take those deep breaths. Imagine that light kind of coming through. Maybe say out loud. I wouldn't say so in the chat just so that you're not feeding the medium and giving me any information prior to connection. You might want to say to yourself or out loud in the room that you're in the name of the person that you would like to connect to tonight. Just bring them in, invite them in. Allow yourself to be open to receive. Allow yourself to be open to receive even postcards. Sometimes we call them billboards. When there's a lot of information like, oh my God, that sounds like them, that sounds like them. It might not be 100% match, but that is again a wave from your loved one. We're at 5K, yay! How do readings work? Development. I believe, Icarus, that we are all conditioned to be able to do this. I think anybody can become a medium. I think some people have maybe a little bit more proclivity towards it. Sometimes ancestry does seem to play a part. I don't know how much I want to give to that though, because I do think we're all built for it. I think we've mostly been conditioned out of it. So meditation, practice, development, belief, and trust. So everybody take a couple deep breaths. I am feeling somebody start to come in. We're going to see how this goes tonight. We're going to have some fun. Would I be able to ask one of you do some on live? I'm not sure what that means, babe. Oh, three other things, actually. Do not put any personal information into the chat. Don't do that. Only because sometimes scammers get in and then they yank that information and they use it to try to lure you into a reading. I will never message you for a reading. This is my only account. I have several copycat accounts that TikTok or IG won't do anything about. So Icarus, if you want, and this is actually a good thing for me to bring up too, if you guys want a guaranteed reading, a guaranteed mediumship reading, the best way to do that is to book with me. The link is in my bio. My availability is extremely limited at the moment. I'm opening up my schedule like week to week at this point. I do have some availability between tomorrow and next Sunday, but it's very, very limited. So the other way to get a guaranteed like single card reading from me or little mini readings would be to check out the Patreon or subscribe here. I have 25. I'd love to get to 35 if possible. And that would happen at the end of the mediumship demonstration. Okay. Oh, and the last thing. Once we find our sitter, if everybody could just hold comments. I don't know if I have anybody in here who would like to mod. I tried modding my last live and it did not go great. So if anybody wants to do that, that would be fantastic. If it's a big if you are muted, during the live, it is one of two reasons. It's always with love. First of all, it's not anything malicious. It's not done with any malintent. It's either because there's personal information in the chat that we don't want people to necessarily prey upon, or it's that I'm in the middle of a reading with the sitter and I want to respect that space and hold that space for the sitter alone, okay? So if you're muted, it will only be for a couple of minutes. Please don't take it personally. It is nothing personal, okay? Okay, so I want to see who we've got coming in tonight. Everybody take a couple deep breaths into the heart space. I do have an older gentleman here. Oh God, this guy is so lovely. I have a very playful older gentleman here at the moment. He's using the term like full to bursting with the love and joy that he has. His energy is just overwhelmingly fun, playful. I feel like he would have used words like pipsqueak to kind of like describe people, but in like a really sweet way. I just heard the word pipsqueak come through. He's with another woman. He's with an older woman up there. He's calling her an aunt or an auntie or auntie, but he is with a woman up there. They are holding hands. This could be his sister. This doesn't necessarily feel like a romantic connection with them holding hands, but I need to tell you, Fujoka, don't give me any extra information, okay, babe? We're just gonna, because again, I don't want anybody to necessarily pull that information from you, and I don't feed the medium either, just so we make sure that the information coming through is 100% free of influence from the chat. That was all good. Stay in the chat though, especially if you're starting to connect. We're going to get a little bit more information about this gentleman. I need to talk about this woman that he's hanging out with. He loves her. I feel like this might be his sister, or somebody his sister like with him. I need to talk about towards the end of his life, just because this feels like such a huge difference in his personality, the way that I'm receiving him now. I feel as though, I think something happened. There could have been like a brain hemorrhage or something happened that made it very, very difficult for him to talk, very, very difficult for him to emote, because this gentleman's energy is so playful, it's so fun, it's very funny, it's very vibrant, and I do feel as though there was some kind of health incident, in which case, or excuse me, in which his ability to emote or talk was sort of taken from him. And this is resonating too with Chimika Fujioka. Okay, stick around, babe. Got a couple people that are able to take this. I'm going to see if we can get a little bit more information from him. There is a P. I need to talk about the P name that is connected to him. This could be somebody who is in spirit with him. It could be him, or it could be somebody who's still here, but there is a P name that feels very, very important to this man. He's talking about the year 1975. Like, I need to address the year 1975 with this gentleman. That could be a birthday, that could be an anniversary, but I do need to talk about that year specifically. So I'm going to do a quick recap. If you can take 98 to 100%, and only if you can take 98 to 100%, I want you to put a heart in the chat, okay? But only if it's 98 to 100%. If it's 80%, that's a postcard, that's a wave, but we're looking for, this is an older gentleman who is initially coming on as very playful, funny. He used the term pipsqueak. He used the term full to bursting with love. He has these kind of more old-fashioned ways of talking. He's very silly. He would have been a tease. He would have been very playful. He was holding hands with another woman who was in spirit with him that felt like a sister or sister figure. Very, very deep emotional bond with her. He did say aunt or auntie, so that could be their relationship to you, this woman that's also in spirit. I do have a P, like Peter name, that is connected to him. And I do have an incident in which, I don't know if this is, I thought initially it might have been a brain hemorrhage. This could have been a car accident or something too, but it was something that made it so that his personality completely shifted out of this really playful, exciting, kind of vibe into very, like, I almost feel like I can't talk and I can't emote in the way that I want to. So if you can take like 98 to 100% of that, put a heart in the chat. And Christy, make sure you don't give me any extra information, okay? No, you can at the end. At the end, when we start to validate, that's when we can go over all of this to see how the validation lines up. That's actually one of my favorite part of mediumship readings. But if you guys can take 98 to 100%, put hearts in the chat. So Sacred can take 100%, and put the percentage maybe. I'm drawn to you a little bit, Chimika. He's talking about something wrong with his brain, something wrong with his brain. And this was debilitating, whatever this was. It almost feels, okay, you can take 98%. Would you understand, those of you that can take 98 to 100% of this, would you understand this gentleman having a really difficult time with what's happening to him brain-wise, like with this inability to form words, with this inability to emote? I also feel like I'm regressing, like I'm getting, I'm behaving like I'm younger because my brain is in this state. So Lennox, you're at 100% of this. Okay. Okay, so those of you that are at 100% stick around. Everybody else, if you guys could just hold comments for a little bit longer. And Sacred Echo, you can take 100% of this as well. So, okay, just to recap, we want to make sure we can take 100% of the P name. You need to be able to take the P name. You need to be able to take this woman that he is holding hands with in spirit as being like a sister or a sister figure to him. I do need to talk about him using terminologies like pipsqueak, full to bursting. Like he has kind of like an old-fashioned way of talking. I need to talk about how he went from being very like this to almost unable to emote or communicate. There's something going on with his brain. It's either a traumatic brain injury or a brain bleed. And this was debilitating. This continued to bother him. It feels like for a couple of years. This was not like necessarily a quick shift. And he brought up the year 1975. So if you guys can take 100% of that, let me know in the chat. I am seeing like it's almost like he's in bed and there's like there's a little bit of drool coming out of his mouth. Like he's like kind of slack jawed. I need to talk about a woman who is taking care of him. I need to talk about the woman that is taking care of him. This is way towards end of life. I do need to talk about the woman that would dress him, that would clean him. I need to talk about her. She feels a little detached because she had to be emotionally to take care of this man, but she's got his blanket on. She's taking care of his feet. I need to talk about how she put lotion on his feet. Okay. And this would be towards the end of life. So, and not just his feet, it almost feels like she's putting lotion or something to help his skin, on his arms as well. So if you can take that, that's your auntie. Okay. Shamika, do you want to come up into the chat and up into the box, or do you want to stay in the chat? It's totally fine, by the way, guys. If you guys are this, yes, you got it. Okay. I'm just going to send you an invite. Everybody else who's still connecting, please stick around because you might continue to receive postcards and billboards from your loved one in spirit as well, okay? Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So it sounds like you can take 100% of this. Am I pronouncing it? Is it Shamika or Shamika?
It's Shamika.
Shamika. Okay, awesome. So you can take 100%. You would understand the P name that's connected to him.
Yes.
And would you understand the year 1975, like why he brought that up?
I think that was my dad's birth year, I believe.
Okay, his birth year.
Yes.
And you would understand this woman that he's holding hands with, this woman that feels like his sister, or he said auntie, or auntie. I'm not sure how it's pronounced correctly.
That would be my auntie, but that would be like his sister in a way, like estranged, but yes.
Okay, perfect. And you would understand also this shift in personality or this shift in persona because of something happening to his brain.
Yes, he had a brain injury. It was increasing late in his younger years, but when he got older, it got more severe with his brain. Yes.
Okay. And would you understand him getting like really like frustrated with it? Like it's almost like he can watch it happen. And I feel like he kind of tries to play it off. Like it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But deep down, I think he's kind of seeing this deterioration. Would you understand this as well?
Yes, I would. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And would you understand like this woman putting like lotion on him, like rubbing his feet, taking care of him, like way more towards the end of his life?
It's just like, oh, but I really want to say it, but like, oh, I'm about to make a joke out of it. And you're like, huh? Okay. But you still just laugh anyways. Like, I love you. Like, you're cool. Like, you always talk. You get frustrated.
And did he use terms like pipsqueak or like, I heard him say like, what a pipsqueak, or like, I'm full to bursting. Like he has this kind of like older vernacular. Would you understand this?
Yes. Pipsqueak is what he always used to call me and my sister. And his wiener dogs that he had, or dachshunds, pipsqueak. Come here, pipsqueak.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Did he ever say something like full to bursting or I'm full to burst?
Yes. When he had his steak and like pork chops, we would go out and he's like, I'm full to burst. That was a good one, sweetheart. Thank you, ma'am. Ham and pie. That was always thing.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, let's see. I want to lean into him a little bit more. I'm trying to figure out how to put this into words. There's nonsense words that he's kind of saying as well to be kind of funny. And I feel like this might have been something
Yes,
he did with you, and maybe I know it feels like do you have siblings?
I do have siblings. I'm a total of 8, but at the time it was just only me and my older sister. We were adopted.
Okay.
Um, but yes, he would always kind of talk to us, kind of ramble, and the rest of the family would kind of look at him like, "Oh, we don't want to hear it." But we were always like intrigued, like, "Ooh, all the stories he's telling us!" Like, "Yes, yes, yes, keep telling us more." But it doesn't make sense sometimes. But yes,
I feel like he was like performing for you guys a little bit. Like, would you understand him doing voices or like changing his body shape to kind of like demonstrate different characters?
yes. Oh my gosh, yes. One of the old ones that he used to do was the Lion in Wizard of Oz. Courage, and then um, oh, what is it? Princess Bride, marriage. Like the priest, he would
Marriage!
always try to be funny and like marriage brought us together. Like, like
Yes!
you crack me up.
Oh my
That
God.
was that was definitely him.
Oh my God, this is so
Him and my
wonderful.
dad would do that together.
Would you understand the R name that's connected to him?
Was it R or the P? Because if it's a R would be Robert, and that is our Dalmatian dog that
Okay.
passed. But
Okay.
but a grandpa that is living, which I still believe is still living, is Robert, and that's my mom's dad, and they would get along together.
Okay. Okay.
Him and
Fabulous.
Robert would get along. Yes.
Was there something he enjoyed eating, like banana pudding? Like I saw it looked like the color. Do you
Oh,
understand this?
yes. Oh my gosh, banana pudding. And I've been craving like banana pudding, and it's like years, and I'm like, why am I craving banana pudding? And my daughter's like, Mom, maybe you're gonna get pregnant soon because you haven't really spoken to banana pudding. And that just like firms maybe I will because I've had a miscarriage. And then I was like, oh, maybe if the next time I get pregnant, I'll probably want banana pudding or pickles. Who knows? And to just
Oh,
know that, it's just like, what's going on? So
okay.
I'm like shocked. I got chicken skin. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay.
I have chills like all over my body right now. That is. Well, you're just gonna have to keep a bitch posted, I guess. Like that is
Yes,
wonderful.
I definitely will.
Um, okay. Anything else from this gentleman? Do you understand the month of June being connected to him?
June. June was I think the last time really that I saw him when he came out to Hawaii here um, with his daughters, and he got to see my daughter.
Hmm.
My daughter was born in June,
Okay.
and that was like the last time. Yes, and he's like,
Okay.
"Look at her chubby cheeks, that baby," and I'm just like,
So you said this is
yeah,
in
there were
Hawaii,
two like peas
right?
in a pod. Yes, Hawaii,
Did
but
he
he's
go?
from like mainland.
Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead. You go ahead.
but he's like from the mainland. So we would always either go out to Nevada, if I can say that, Nevada, or like Tahoe, Reno, and then he would come out here to Hawaii. So we'd go
Would you
back
under,
and forth from Hawaii.
would would you understand him going like crazy about the lays, like the flowers? Like I see him being so excited about like I don't know if they're orchids, if it's plumeria,
Yes,
but there's something he's wearing and he's like really like pumped
yes,
about it. Okay. They're
yes. So
purple.
one of the flowers that we have here that's popular is like the pukinikini, and it smells really, really good. And it could come like in yellows, and then we have like the purple orchids. But he loved plumerias. But he said if you give me a lay with pukinikini and a nice hula dancer, ooh, yes, ma'am. And I'm like, oh, like he's just a charmer, but he always loved getting lays. It made it feel really good.
I think he's like doing a little dance. Like it's really funny. He's kind of like shaking his hips a little bit. Um, the
Yes,
last
that's fair.
the last thing I want to bring up, two things. There's some soda that it feels like he's kind of into, and I feel like there's something he puts in the soda that would make it kind of like a little like that's interesting, but it's like good to him. Do you know what he's talking about? I don't know if this is
With the soda, I've known that he likes to put like I think it was us when Splenda is like the yellow packaging, like the sugar, or sometimes salt. I
Okay.
don't know, but I know it's some kind of thing. We'd have to like rip it open out of like the little paper package and put it in. Maybe that's what it is.
Soda. Okay, yeah,
It's some weird concoctions, like yeah.
it's something that like if I were to like it could be salt, like a little bit of salt in the soda. Like it just feels like somebody's looking at me and like, what are you putting in that drink? And he's like, you don't understand. Like this is
Hmm.
the elixir of life.
Yeah, that's something because he did have some really interesting taste, and I'm like, okay, like that's what you're doing, but no judgment. But I just do remember like the packaging of like my aunt having to rip it up for him and putting it inside like his sodas. One he'd always like to have his coffee.
Uh-huh.
And that coffee mixture was a little interesting. I'm not gonna lie. That's also something I'm getting like salt. There definitely has salt involved. So I'm like, why would you put that in coffee or soda or any kind of drink? It didn't make sense to me. But yeah.
Um, he's so authentic. I freaking love this guy. Would you understand the month of December? He's talking about the month of December as being important.
December, yes. December to like the holidays, we were up in Tahoe, and I remember he told me like, yeah, go jump out, the window because there's all this snow that piled up, and then with me and my sister, and he'd be like, jump, and I jumped. My mom would freak out, be like, no, really jumped out the window, ah! But he's like, gotcha, and his little way start rambling on, and
Mhm.
then if it's not that kind of memory that he has, um, I know that my late boyfriend passed in December, so I don't know if they're interconnecting together, but it was on his birthday, December 22nd.
Speaking of interconnection, I just want to show you this, just to kind of tie a bow around anything. And this kind of looks not great, but he keeps showing me like a heart chain, like almost like made out of paper or
Oh
something. So
gosh.
right when you said linked, I just want to show you those heart links that are coming through. I know that's not necessarily evidence, but like it just kind of clicked when you said the link and him. So I just need to give that to you as
Yeah.
well.
I do have a heart tattoo from my late boyfriend that he did on my left hand, and I wanted to have a heart, a music note, and like zigzag lines of like my daughter's heartbeat, but it hurt too bad. That was my first tattoo. So he only stopped on like the two dots for the treble clef, and then he drew a heart, and he's like, "This is yours, and I'm here for you." I don't know if that's where they're
Oh,
talking
Shamika,
about
you're
the
breaking
length
up
up
just
of
a
the
little
hearts.
bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Will they hear me now?
It's still a little glitchy. What I heard was that there was something
Oh
about the
no.
tattoo and then being a connection to your partner who's now in spirit. I heard that part.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe that's to where they're linking up because on the day of the remembrance for my late boyfriend, um, we put out a lei into one of the beaches here, and my sis tells me, Shamika, look back. I turn around, and the lei is right back onto the shore when it was already halfway out. We filmed it,
Wow.
and I was like, wow, okay. And I remember him telling me the first date that we had, he's like, I never wanted you to leave. And he starts bursting into tears. So then seeing that lay, it's like he didn't really want to go. His life shouldn't have been taken, but he didn't want to go. So I
Oh
don't
my
know if they're
goodness.
linking up and their buds up there.
Oh, I'm
They're
sure. Is
both
this
goofballs.
there must be an L name connected to him? Either your late partner or your is this your grandfather that we're talking to?
um, Father would be Robert.
Okay.
Um, there's Paul. But then on Andrew, my late boyfriend's side, I think it's Lisa. It's like
Lisa. Okay.
Brenda or Lisa. It's like sisters.
Okay. All right, my love. I think that's what I have from them for now. So I'm just going to
Okay.
send you so much love and thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
so
up
much.
here. Yes, they are wonderful. He was fantastic. Like he, I think was the guy or the energy that gave me the like excitement before I came on here. Like I just felt somebody like ready to go. They were really like, let's play. And so I'm so glad that he came through and connected with you. His energy is absolutely wonderful.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate it because I've been really missing him deeply, and I will let you know on that banana pudding. You
Yes,
know,
please
I will
do.
let you know because I'm freaking out. But I will definitely let you know, and I'm happy that if my late boyfriend Andrew is up there with Uncle Danny, that they're getting along, and I'm just happy that they're over here watching over me and the rest of the family. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if you have more family coming in. So blessings to you, my dear.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.
You too. Bye bye.
All right, guys, flood the chat with love. Flood the chat with love for Shamika and her uncle and her partner and her whole family, and possibly a plus one coming in. That was cool. That was really cool. Okay. You're so welcome, babe. You're so welcome. Thanks to everybody for holding space in the chat. I was not, I apologize if there was anything that happened in the chat. I did not see it. My full attention was on Shamika. So Peaceful Pisces, if you want a guaranteed one-on-one reading, the best way to do that is to go to the link in my bio, my booking website. I have extremely limited availability right now. If you want to guarantee that, otherwise, please do, Shamika, keep me updated for sure. These are spirit-led readings. Peaceful place. I've read that as Peaceful Pisces for some reason. So I kind of just open the door and see who comes through. And if you can connect with the evidence, like 98 to 100% of the evidence, that's when I bring somebody up. Or you can stay in the chat too. It's completely up to you guys. Hey, Lilu. Oh, my kitty is joining. I don't know if you guys can see her. She's very like not into the camera. But this is Lilu. Okay, so I'm gonna reset for just a little bit here before we invite somebody else in. I think we're gonna do 2 readings tonight. Does she? I met a boy kitty that looked a lot like her today too, my other job. Oh yeah, no, there's, these are free readings, L. These are free readings. All of the mediumship demonstrations I do on TikTok, I do not charge for these. Lilu is your nickname from your whole family. That's a synchronicity. That's a synchronicity. Let me see if I can get you guys to. She's not going to look at the camera, but. This is. Wait. This is her. That's a Lilu. She's like, don't perceive me. Don't perceive me. Just scritch me. Just give me the scratches. The scratches. Okay. She's my sweet baby angel. She's my sweet baby angel, boo. Okay. Do you guys have a kitty? Do you guys have any questions? Hi, Dana. How are you, love? And if you guys are not following Miss Dana Willy Woo, another wonderful evidential medium on this up, can you not scratch the back of the chair though, love? We have to sell these soon. My God. She's feisty. Hello. I've been asking for the universe to put a kitty in my way. Yeah, the cat distribution service, kitty distribution service. Love your face, Dana. I don't understand. Like I could never be unethical at this work because I take it too fucking seriously. Like I don't know, man. Like you're holding space for people's deepest vulnerabilities, you know, whether it's a psychic reading. Mediumship is different because you're talking and working with grief. So like non-ethical mediums are, I've kept my mouth pretty silent about how I really feel about some of these creators because I don't want that heat right now, but I have big feelings about people that do this unethically. I have words. I have feelings. And just to kind of give an example of what an unethical medium might do or how they might approach you is by messaging you and, you know, trying to lure you into a reading, saying that you have a hex on you, saying that your loved one is stuck, or they're angry at you. None of those things make any sense. None of those things are like your loved one. For anybody who's worried that your loved ones are stuck, the spirit knows how to die. We know how to die. We've been doing this for eternity. Okay. We know what we're doing. Our spirit knows what it's doing. It can't get stuck. I I've been doing mediumship for a long time. I've never spoken to one spirit who is entangled in any kind of nonsense like that. So if a psychic is saying that to you, it's because they either can't connect with your loved one because they're not developed enough, or that spirit doesn't want to connect. I shouldn't say it like that. I mean, spirit's wise. Let's just put it that way. They're going to connect with who they know they want to connect with, or they're trying to play with your emotions and manipulate you into giving them money, because then they'll probably say some shit like, well, I know the way to kind of like, give you a ritual or clear the... It's all divine. It's all love on the other side. It's all love on the other side. And like, I say that as somebody who is not a love and lighter. That's the evidence of evidential mediumship to me, is the love, is the love that's on the other side. It's honestly completely healed my fear of dying, this work. I have a question. What's your opinion on ghost hunting? I have big feelings about that too, if I'm being honest. I've really tried to take my opinions off of this app in general, because I irritate my own self. I think ghost hunting is primarily very exploitative. I think it's exploitative to the viewer. I think it's exploitative to whatever energies that they're pursuing. I do believe in ghostly apparitions. I've lived in haunted houses. I've talked to spirits through whatever dimensional veil they're in. I do believe in that, but I think the ghost hunters, most of the ones I see, I don't like them. I don't care for them. I think they try to get people all riled up about things that may or may not exist. I think a lot of apparitions are also not trapped spirits, but like some kind of rift in different dimensions and stuff getting through that way. That's what I think a lot of that stuff is. I think it's like a timeline glitch or a dimensional glitch versus like an actual spirit. If that's my belief. I speak for myself. Okay. Do I believe in purgatory? I think purgatory is here. I honestly think a lot of those states of mind are here. I feel like I've lived in and out of that state for a number of years in my own life. So I've never heard any of them talk about that. And I also am not going to claim to know all the answers of the universe just because I'm a medium. Like I told my patrons this last night. I was like, I know like very few things. One is that there's only love that I connect with on the other side. And that's about it. So hi, Jen. How are you? Speaking of patrons. Should we do one more reading tonight, guys? Should we do one more? And then we can do some work for the subscribers and patrons. Yes, okay. So again, if you guys are just coming in, or if you're new here, if you're new to the experience, just a couple of things before we begin, all right? Make sure that you do not give me any personal information in the chat. Also, I'm getting a message that I have an unstable connection. So if I start to glitch, will you guys please let me know? Don't put any personal information in the chat. Scammers those unethical mediums can come in there and use that information to kind of lure you in and give them money. We don't know. Also, you don't want to feed the medium. I want whatever evidence comes through to be completely clear and without any sort of encouragement or influence prior, because that's how we want to make sure it's like 100% evidential. Okay. If you start to connect with about 98 to 100% of what comes through, it's going to take me a few minutes to bring that information forward. Put the percentage and a heart in the chat. If you can only take 50%, if you can only take like 80%, 88%, know that that's a postcard. That is still your loved one. That is your loved one coming in. They have an opportunity to kind of like get that information through. Please know that is also them. Okay. If we do have a sitter or we bring somebody up into the box, I just ask that everybody hold space in the comments. And if you're still connecting with whoever comes through, I call it getting pancaked. Dana, I don't know if you're still in the chat, if it's called something else. I've heard it called piggybacked, but I don't like that term for my own reasons. But I get pancaked a lot where I feel like multiple spirits will kind of come in with a lot of very similar information. So I think my take on that is that spirit is just very efficient. And if a bunch of them are like, oh my God, I know my loved one is in the chat, they're going to do everything they can to get as many of you as possible. Okay, so that's my take on it anyway. All right, so you guys might want to take a couple of deep breaths into the heart space. You might want to invite that love in. You might want to think of your loved one. You might want to just invite them into your heart. And know also that even if you do not hear from your loved one tonight, they are with you. They are always with you. They love you deeply and dearly and always, okay? cat here. I think this is a kitty. I want to see if the kitty's coming in with somebody else because I feel like there's more than one energy here, but I'm just going to sit with them for a little bit. But I do have, it feels like a small kitty. I think this is a female. Yeah, so I think there might be somebody else coming in with the cat, but I want to talk about the kitty first. I sadly want to say that she might have been hit because I'm feeling something happening to my spine and my legs not working as a result of this. I do think she survived whatever this impact was initially, but I am feeling that my lower half is no longer functioning, okay? I do feel as this is a pretty young kitty as well. It's either that they're young or they're very, very tiny. Like they're showing up as pretty small to me, okay? I do feel like somebody saw this accident happen, whoever their owner was, and this was a deeply traumatic experience for the owner. She's just acknowledging that. This cat's eyes are gorgeous. I need to talk about how these eyes, they look almost like supernatural. It's just like, it looks blue to me. They're coming through as blue, but it's like a glow that they almost have. I need to talk about the tail having like, it's almost like her tail is like tipped. Lilu's not sitting behind me anymore, so I can't demonstrate. But I feel like this kitty just kind of had an early passing because of this accident. This accident would have happened outside, and the woman that's finding this poor cat is just having such a difficult time. So if anybody can take this kitty, I think this might just be a quick little wave from this cat to whoever their owner is or might belong to. I think they just want this person to know that they're okay. And they're still around. Like I see that they like to be outside. Like I do feel them outside. I do feel them looking out the window and getting really like, I want to go out there. I want to go out there. I want to go out there. I want to get that squirrel. I want to get whatever that is. Like, you know, the ek that they do when they look through the window. So I'm seeing this cat just being like, I need to be outside. So I think this accident that caused this problem in the spine might have been the cat like sneaking out or getting out unexpectedly. Can't pick one favorite. You can take all of this. Okay. Do you want to stay in the chat or do you want to come up into the box? This poor little baby, she's such a sweetie. Her eyes are incredible. I need to talk about this cat's eyes. This cat feels very, very magical. You can come up, okay. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing so well. So you can take 100% of this, like a smaller or younger kitty. There was an accident outside that might have created some paralysis in the lower half. Somebody found this cat and was very traumatized by this. They were very like doing the ek when they would look outside the window and really want to go play. Would you understand all of this?
Okay, the last thing you said about it, God, you said something at the very end before I came up that I was like, not sure about, but everything else I can take.
Okay. Was it the tipped tail or like having something going on at the tip of her tail?
Yeah, and it like curled, kind of.
Okay. Did this kitty or did you guys live near a lake by any chance?
It was across the street. There was a big pond kind of thing.
Okay. She's talking about this body of water. Like I heard when she first came in, I heard lake. Like there was like a lake or something nearby. Did she have a little bell or a little something around her collar?
I don't think she did at the time. The
mom did. Okay. This is very random, and I'm wondering if this might be somebody else. Would you understand the Tweety Bird connection? Like the Looney Tunes Tweety Bird?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to sit with this just a little bit longer. There was no like cat toy or anything that was yellow and had feathers?
There were cat toys. I can't remember if that specific one.
Okay. I'll just bring that forward for now. I think she just wants you to know that she's okay. Because I feel like whoever found her, like this was just such a deeply upsetting experience. And she's like, I'm fine. And there's also a dog she's with. Would you understand her being with a dog?
There was another dog of a neighbor's that she was familiar with.
Okay. Okay. Is the dog still here or is the dog up in spirit with her?
The dog I think is in spirit.
Okay. Because it feels like this is her guy. Like, I almost feel like this could be a Disney movie where you have like the big dog and the little cat and they're like best friends. And the little cat is calling all the shots. It's kind of what it feels like to me. And I'm just going to give this to you. I know this is kind of like random. I'm not going to try to make it fit, but there's something about a rainbow. There's something about a rainbow coming through with this kitty and this dog as well. So I want to give that to you just in case it lands or in case it makes sense later.
Okay, thank you. You know what? I ran her over. And so it was like an outdoor cat. It was like a cat that was in our neighborhood. And she had a baby, all these babies, and I would feed them and take care of them, but they were like outside. They didn't like belong to anybody. And I couldn't bring them in at the time because my son. And one day and it like has been so disturbing anytime I think about it. So I had a whole memorial for her because the mom was right there and I watched the mom cry and it was like traumatizing, like seriously traumatizing. And so I buried her and yeah. So honestly, this is like so, I don't know, surprising, but thank you so much because yeah.
So welcome. And I'm so like, she's so chill, dude. Like she's having the time of her life with this dog. And I feel like she's still around. And there is something about birds she keeps bringing up. So I'd maybe just keep an eye on any interesting visitations or anything like that. Or if somebody just leaves a bird at your doorstep and you don't see who brings it to you as a gift, you know,
Yeah.
lovely little psychopaths. We love them so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Well, that was sweet. That was sweet. If you guys, could you please flood the chat with some love for Can't Pick One Favorite? Oh my God. Like, see, this is what I'm saying about spirit being like really wise and intentional with their timing. Cause like that was, I kept seeing this person finding this cat and just having such a stressful, so she sees you, she saw you, and she knows what you went through. That is wild. Such a sweet little kitty. It's reassuring. Yeah. That's another thing. I a while back, years ago, had a woman come in and she wanted me to connect with her late dog. And it was one of the most emotional sessions I think I've ever had to this day, because this woman just carried so much guilt around certain things that had happened. And she was so worried that the fur baby had taken that with him. And that's not, just like people, they don't take that with you. And this dog had nothing but love and understanding. Like I felt so much compassion coming from this dog in spirit. This was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But by the time she left, you could see that there was like physical weight that had come off of her because she was able to just release all of that guilt and all of that shame. So we will do one more. That was kind of a quick one, but let's recalibrate, let's reset. And actually, why don't I, while I see that there's a couple of subscribers in the chat, why don't I pull a couple cards for the subscribers? It'll say Faye in your name if you are subscribed. If you guys want me to pull one, just say yes, please in the chat. I'll pull a general card for you, and then we'll do maybe one last one tonight. I should get to bed pretty soon, but I want to do one more connection. Jessica and Jennifer, 2 J names. Jessica. I gotta switch up my decks soon. Actually, no, I want this deck. Jessica. And patrons as well. As above, so below, Jessica. You know what I'm getting from this? I don't know why this is making me so emotional. Maybe this is hitting a nerve for me too. The universe will figure itself out. I think sometimes there is this pressure, especially in people within the spiritual community, to be a certain kind of person, like almost like a hero in their own story. And I think sometimes we put a lot of expectation on ourselves to be this entity or this thing. And I feel like this card is like, let yourself off the hook, bro. if you didn't try for anything, the universe would still be okay, and you might even still be okay. Like there's just so much pressure and contracted energy I think we force ourselves into sometimes that just isn't necessary. Jennifer. And then Jennifer. Okay. Jennifer, let me know if this resonates. I'll check up in the chat in a second. I have give it time and be away, which is this feeling of like, I cannot like get rid of this thing. I can't get away from this feeling. Have more patience with whatever this process is. It could be a job. It could be like, I can't wait to leave this job. I can't wait to leave whatever. It feels like it will happen, but there's like a bit of pressure to make it happen now. See if you can let that go. Okay. Lennox, thank you for subscribing. Jen. Just passing through. Jen, I'm actually taking this as, this feels like a fur baby for you. I'm sorry, this just made me really emotional. Jen, you have a fur, I don't know if you have a bird up there. I need to check up on the chat. Jen, do you have a bird in spirit? Like a cockatiel or a parakeet or something? Because I feel a bird energy coming through for this, and it's interesting that they're using the wing. It's a crow. Okay, you're getting a wave. This is literally a postcard. They're letting you know we're just passing through, we're giving you a wave and sending you some love, okay? That's beautiful. That is beautiful. And that's from your dad. If that's coming from your dad, especially, holy shit. Letty Blue. Letty Blue. They want me to use this deck for you. Letty Blue, and then Lennox, I believe, and Willow. Letty Blue. Magical power. You need to believe in your own magic more, babe. I need to tell you this right now. Like, you have the equivalent of what I would call a Care Bear stare. Like I feel like you can just direct magical intention and energy, especially when it comes to people you really care about. You need to fucking do that for yourself. Okay, dragonflies might be a synchronicity for a couple of you guys also. Leah, if you have not subscribed, you joined the team. So if you subscribe, you click, it'll say up there in a second, right there, 2 out of 5 there, have that little star. If you click on that, oh, let's talk about animals. There you go, Elle. There you go. Oh, let it make you, I know talk about animals can be, losing a fur baby is a lot. Lennox. Okay. So Lennox and then Elle. Lennox. Okay, they're insistent that I use this deck, so we'll do this. Abundance. Lennox, I feel so good when I tap into this. This is when in doubt, make a gratitude journal. And also, I need to give you validation that I think you really do know how to appreciate abundance beyond just financial. This feels like I have a cushy bed. I've got all the food I need. I've got good friends. Like this is understanding that abundance isn't just one thing. It's like having everything that you need. All right, we're in a subwave. Yeah, totally. Elle, I saw Elle. Okay, no, I saw Willow and then Elle. Willow, we're going to pull one for you, and then we're going to pull one for Elle, and then I think we're good to do one more mediumship reading, unless I forgot anybody. Elle. No, excuse me. Willow. Jesus Christ. Willow. Oh. Willow, are you okay if I'm not going to read you for filth, but this is a little bit of tough love. And I just want your consent first, because some people are not in a place to want to receive tough love. And I honor that and I respect that. Go ahead. Okay. There's something that you are fantasy projecting on. It's the idea that it's going to be better when, it's going to be better then, they have it better, or it's better. Be in the moment. Come back home. Come back down to earth. This isn't really touch grass so much as it's like, what makes everything out there so much better? And why are we externalizing it? Does this make sense? It's kind of like not to sound like 11 later, but it's definitely kind of like the vibe of like what you're looking for is within you. Okay. It's not everybody else. And a lot of what we're seeing is smoke and mirrors anyway. So I hope that made sense. Okay. L. Oh, I love this card. Okay, this card is a little bit of a jump scare, just to forewarn people. This says ally, okay? And I find L that when this card shows up, it's a reminder that sometimes you find help in the oddest and sometimes the weirdest places, often from your own shadow and often from the things that scare you or disgust you. Those are teachers, okay? Imagine dragons. Lennox, I already pulled a card for you, right? Oh my God, my brain. My brain. Okay. They go in and out. They just... Okay. Any other? Glow, of course you can. Glow is a patron, in case you're like, oh, Glow doesn't have Faye in front of her name. She's a patron. So I do this for my patrons as well. You guys should check out the Patreon. The Patreon's lit. We've had an influx of people over there lately, and the energy feels so good. Like, I love when the energy just builds and builds and builds, and we get like these new sparkly, shiny people in there. There is a free tier if you guys just want to check it out and feel the vibe. And yes, absolutely. So to subscribe, click on that little star up there. Okay, Glow, blow your mind. Why do I feel like I pulled this for you already? It's almost the same message I gave to, was it Lennox? No, I can't remember. About somebody having insane amounts of magical power. Yours lives up here. The person I read for before, I felt that more solar plexus. You are a visionary. And also you know how to move between planes and probably astral travel a bunch. You have the shamanic in you. So I think there might be some kind of encouragement, Glow, to explore that for fun. For fun. And they want me to emphasize for fun so it doesn't be taken like it's not taken too seriously, you know? That was you, Letty Blue. Okay. Okay. I am queen. I am queen. Do I automatically write in my readings? No. I don't. I mostly do video readings now. I don't. Automatic writing stresses me out. I get too in my head about it, if I'm being honest. Queen. Resilience. And I'm kind of hearing like, I know, sometimes it sucks that we have to be resilient, but also there is a virtue in just being patient and letting shit go. Okay, actually, you know what I'm going to say for you, Queen? I'm going to say that a form of resilience is not giving a fuck. A form of resilience, and I've been practicing this a lot because I now drive full time. I have to be patient. I have to let certain things roll off the road that normally would have me like flipping people off and like I just can't care anymore for safety reasons and for my, like, they have cameras in the car and everything. Like, I have to just be like, whatever. That's a form of resilience. Okay. I like that message. Dragonflies love you. Yes, they do. I have one that keeps showing up in the parking lot where I take the vans out every day, and it just like, it'll fly and like look at me and then buzz off. So it's somebody up there who's checking in. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss any patrons or subscribers? The Patreon is rad. I am probably going to start doing Patreon only mediumship sessions, so that's a little bit more of a confined. Not confined, that sounds like a weird word, but there'll be less people there, like, and you'll be more likely to get a reading. I think I'm going to start doing that next month in September. I mean, driving in Southern California, at least in San Diego and definitely in LA, is an extreme sport. It is not for the weak. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not for people who want to drive like this. Like, you have to know how to fucking drive, and you have to know how to drive fast. Which I love doing. So, yes, intimate gathering. Thank you for helping me with the words that my brain can't. Okay. Are we feeling like we want to do one more reading tonight? Are we feeling like we want to do one more connection? I love it. I love it, Jessica. I feel like I'm flying, and I get very, very in flow and like in the fucking zone when I am driving. I have my music blasting, and I feel like it's very main character energy of feeling like I'm in a movie, and I call my car. I don't think I've told anybody this actually. My car's name is the SS Arcturus because it's my spaceship. She's my spaceship. Another reading. Yes, let's go. All right. So deep breath. Deep, 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 deep breath. Maybe that's why I never have any more energy, maybe. Deep breath. into the heart space. Invite that love, invite that connection. Feel the other folks in this group field as well. Honor the other folks that are in the chat right now. Feel that net. I almost see like a web of connection that's linking us all here right now in this moment. Offer some gratitude for everybody for showing up and bringing their hearts, bringing their energy. Let's thank Spirit for being here, bringing its love, their love, and connecting with us tonight, okay? And let's see, we'll do one more tonight, and let's see who wants to come through. And just give me a few minutes. Again, if you're just coming in, hi, Laura. Hi, Miss Laura. If you're just coming in, is there anybody who just came in where I need to kind of go over my little spiel real quick one more time, just so we kind of know what's what? Don't be shy. How are you, Laura? Guys should probably follow Laura Bomb Diggity. She's one of my favorite people on this app. Newbie, welcome, Jackie. Okay, so just because we have a couple new folks in here, welcome, hi, hello. I'm so glad that you're with us. So the way that this is going to work is I'm going to open up the waiting room door, and I'm going to just see who walks through. I'm not going to pick anybody out in the chat beforehand. I'm going to start bringing through evidence. I'm going to start asking, would you understand why they're showing me this, making me feel this, X, Y, and Z? And we're going to build up a couple of pieces of evidence so we can get more than just kind of like a broad stroke, a little bit more refined. If you can start to take or understand 98 to 100% of the evidence that comes through, what you're going to do is put the percentage in the chat followed by a heart, okay? Once we kind of figure out who the sitter is, you have the opportunity, if you want to come up into the box and we can kind of talk back and forth, or you can stay in the chat. It's completely up to you. Do not put any personal information in the chat, you guys. There are scammers. They sneak in here like the little freaking... They sneak in here and they'll try to like scam you. So don't put any personal, and also don't feed the medium. Make sure that you're not giving me any extra information. Feel free to validate what I'm saying when it comes through. That's one thing, but extra information, we want to make sure that this information comes through nice and just like crystal clear without any outside influence. Okay. And if I do have a sitter either in the chat or in the box, if you guys could just be respectful, hold comments while we are working with that sitter, that would be fantastic. Okay. Ooh. I think I have a baby here. This would have been, not that you can put, there is no gold in the Grief Olympics. This would have been an extremely emotional passing with this young baby, okay? The first thing that's coming through is just how hard it was for them to keep food down, okay? I'm feeling like my little belly just kind of can't keep food in. I need to tell whoever this child might be connected to, I really don't feel any pain. I really don't think this child was in the world very long. Okay, this might have even been like a couple of weeks at most. This feels like a pretty quick passing. They weren't here for very long. I do not feel pain. I need to tell you guys that I do not feel pain in my little body. I am just feeling like I can't keep food in. I am feeling like it's hard to breathe, so I might be hooked up to something trying to help me breathe. I am feeling very tiny. This might have been a premature birth as well, okay? I need to talk about how even though this baby might have been premature or was not well, they had a really like dark head of hair. Like I'm being brought to their hair, and there was kind of a bit of surprise at how much hair this very young baby had, like a nice shock of dark hair. Okay. I am feeling whoever is, the parent of this baby, like they're showing me this, like their little hand is holding on to whoever's finger. I think this is the mother. This could be the father too, both of their fingers. Okay. So I'm feeling a little hand responding to a finger being here. This was devastating. I need to talk about, especially for the mother, this was an extremely devastating loss. And I need to tell you that there's something that I feel like I'm carrying, like there's a worry, there's a guilt or something, but I also feel like another child would have come after this. I do feel like the other child would have been a daughter. And I almost want to say that this daughter, well, I don't want to say that yet. I'm going to sit with this a little bit longer. I do need to bring up the month of December being connected to this baby as well. Okay. So I'm just going to recap. I do have a baby here. I do not think this baby was in the world for very long. It could have been maybe a few weeks tops. I am feeling like it was very hard for me to keep food down. I'm not feeling pain. I'm just feeling like I couldn't eat, like that my little belly just couldn't quite keep it in. Okay. I am feeling like I might have been born prematurely, but even though I was born prematurely, I have a decent head of hair. Like I feel like I'd be bragging about the head of hair that I have. I do feel like I'm having a hard time breathing. So there might've been some connection to a breathing apparatus. They showed me their parents taking their finger and the child's hand kind of responding like this and holding on to their finger. I feel like I need to bring up the month of December, and I feel like I need to bring up another daughter that came along later in this family's life after this baby passed. And there is, I think, also an R name, Rebecca, that is connected to this child. So if you can take 98 to 100% of that, let me know the percentage in the chat. I know this is a very sensitive topic too, by the way. I know especially with children, this can be very intense. So if this is resonating with somebody and it's too much, that's also very okay. I'm just going to bring this through and just let you know that this child is angelic. I need to talk about the angelic. I'm getting emotional sitting with this energy because their energy is just pure love. It's just pure love. There's a J name. I need to talk about the J name that's also connected to this child as well. This could be someone who's still here. This could be a sibling of theirs. This could also be somebody in spirit. Yeah, I need to talk about the R name. The R name feels very important. So you'd have to be able to take the R name. You would have to be able to take, I think, the daughter that came after. And you'd need to be able to take this not being able to keep food in the body and the hair as well. Postcard from Jen. Okay. Jen, what can't you take from that? Postcard for Kaylee. Oh, and that was the other thing. I needed to talk about how there was no pain. There was no pain in this. And this child is not making me feel any pain whatsoever. So if this is resonating, okay, you can't take too much. Okay. So I'm going to see if we can connect one more time. Sometimes, occasionally it happens where a spirit will come. It's happened twice. Where a spirit will come in a different live in case we can't find their person tonight. But I do want to try one more time because this baby is so beautiful. So if you're just coming in, I do have a baby here. I do not feel like they survived much past maybe a couple of weeks. They were in this world for a very short amount of time. Their body feels very, very itty bitty to me. So they could have been a premature birth. I feel I cannot keep food in my body. My stomach is just rejecting everything. I do feel like it's a little bit hard for me to breathe. I think it's a she keeps showing me the finger in the hand, like her little hand curled around her parent's finger. There is an R name and a J name that are connected to her as well. I'm seeing this amazing shock of hair on her head for how premature she looks. Like it was a really nice head of hair. Like I almost feel like I want to brag about it. So if you can take that, put hearts in the chat. The R name feels connected to a woman also. I feel like daddy was next to her a lot. Like I'm hearing daddy, daddy, daddy. Like daddy would have been next to her, looking over her quite a lot. I need to talk about that. Daddy loved this baby. Daddy loved this little girl. I know there's a couple postcards here. And I also, again, I know that this can be tricky, having the little ones come through, but I need to let you guys know that she's okay. I think it's a she. The gender is the one thing I'm having a little bit of a tricky time with. It feels like a she to me, but it's maybe it's because at that age, it's, I'm of the belief that gender was a construct. So, but she would have been AFAB, I believe, on her birth certificate. Should we try one more time? I think we're going to find her person. There is a dog with her as well. I don't think this dog ever really got to know her, but there is a dog up there with her too. Really funny little guy, yappy little dog. That's coming through with her as well. And there's also something about like if I am to find this baby's mother specifically, I keep hearing it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Like there's something about there being fault, and this being a blameless situation. This really does feel like it was what it was. There was no one's fault was involved in this. So I need to bring that forward as well. I feel like the doctors really did as much as they possibly could have for this little baby. She was in really good hands. Like I'm getting that the care that she got was actually bar none, like really, really great. She was Earthside. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, she's showing me the first thing that she led with was that I can't keep food down. I can't keep food down. So she keeps showing like her parents looking out for her and like holding their finger like this. So I do feel that this child was in the world for a very, very short amount of time. I need to bring, she's talked about the month of December a couple of times as well. That could be a birthday, that could be a day of passing. And the R name, you would have to be able to take the R name. She's brought her up a number of times as well. A lot of sleep was lost over this. She's bringing up how much sleep was lost. On the parent's side, 90% lived hours, not weeks. Okay. 90% is good. Let me sit with this for a second. My walk, my mile. So is the time frame of her being alive on this realm, on this planet, is that the only thing you can't take? My walk, my mile, my shoes? I really like your username. Like, would you be able to take the R name? I feel like I would have to have you be able to take. She's bringing that up a lot. She's such a sweet little thing. She was a twin. That's the sister that is that the sister that she's talking about? Is that the sister that she's talking about? My walk, do you want to come up or do you want to stay in the chat, babe? Ooh, I'm getting love bombed. Whew. I don't know if there's any other mediums in the chat that just know what that it's like a waterfall of just energy that like it just hits all of these points in my energy body. 80%. Ryan was dad. Okay, Kaylee, keep hanging out. Keep hanging out. I'm going to lean into her a little bit more. Mom's name. So that sounds like a postcard for Monica. So just to recap one more time, I do see that we have a couple more people. You can come up. Okay, let's bring you up here, babe. Those of you that are at like the 80 to 90%, stick around, keep listening, okay?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So okay, just to kind of re-go over everything. So it sounds like she was here a lot shorter than even a couple of weeks. I knew that she was only here for a very short amount of time. Would you understand the shock of hair, like her having more hair than like it almost feels like she should at how little she is?
Yeah, because it was two babies that were born at the same time, and the little girl lived and just for maybe an hour. And then the boy was stillborn.
The boy was stillborn. Okay. So they both left together.
Yes.
Okay. Would you understand the R name that's connected to this?
Yeah. So this baby would be my niece, and my sister's last name begins with an R.
Okay. Okay. Would you understand daddy being really, really present for all of this? Like she's showing this gentleman who's just so there and so like locked into this whole process.
Yeah, definitely. My sister and I and my other sister, there's three of us, we were there together. My sister was giving birth and her husband was there in the room. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I have a clear vision of him holding the baby and the baby's hand wrapped around his finger. So.
Okay, that was the other one I wanted to ask about. Would you understand the month of December being important?
They were born in December.
You were born in December. Okay, thank you for that. Would you understand the D name that she's bringing up?
So my name is Danielle.
Danielle, okay. Beautiful. She's an incredible communicator, this little girl. Would you understand there being a dog up there with her? I don't think she ever met him, but there's this little yappy dog that's just very like stoked to be around her energy.
Um, we're very much dog people. It could have been one of my chihuahuas.
It feels little and kind of like a lot of energy. Yip, 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 like it would have a yip kind of
Yeah.
bark to it.
That would have been one of mine then.
Okay. I am feeling so many flowers like on my body. Like, were there actually flowers on her body at her ceremony of life?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay. She's just talking about the flowers, the flowers, the flowers, and like they feel so beautiful and fragrant. So I just need to bring those up as well.
My sister definitely receives flowers, I believe, from her husband still every year.
Okay.
And it's been, I think, 15 years.
15 years. Okay. Did they have a daughter after this happened? Because she was talking about a daughter that came after the fact.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Would you okay, now that I think the stillborn might be coming in now too. He's a character. It's interesting when you're working with a stillborn or someone who is only here for like even a couple of weeks, because I know it's not evidential to bring the personality forward, but I do need to talk about this kid having a personality, her brother. And I do feel as though they're like this, like there is some kind of like unification in their energy. Again, I know this isn't purely evidential, but I need to talk about how like they are of the same energy. And I also, it sounds like you still talk to her mom, obviously. Would you understand there just being like this guilt and her telling her mom it's okay to let this go? Like this was no one's fault. Like this is a blameless situation.
Even after all these years, I can see it on my sister's face.
Okay.
Okay. There's a heaviness that just she carries with her.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's even like I can feel that even somatically in my body. She says she dreams about. Does she dream about her still?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's obviously a life-changing experience, but
Yeah.
the healing has been minimal.
Okay. So I'm not sure, I always like to get consent, obviously, before dropping this kind of information on anybody. But if you want to share, I'm going to probably post this on my YouTube later. If you want to show this to her mom, just so her mom knows that she's getting this acknowledgement, this validation, and that there's, a permission slip here for her to let go of whatever she's still carrying. Because this little girl, I need to talk about how angelic she is. She feels angelic to me, just vibrationally. And sometimes this is now coming from me and not from her, just so I'm very transparent about this. My experience with the littles that have crossed over, especially the ones that have only been here for like a few minutes, a few hours, my sense is that their energy is so high vibrational that it almost can't be held in this particular space just because of where we are with respect to density. And she feels like that to me. It doesn't happen every single time. So I just need to bring that up as well. She feels like an angel. She feels like a guide, and she feels like lightning. I don't know how else to describe her. Her energy is something else.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the energy that was in the room when we were all there, my sister, had to go through the entire birthing process knowing that they weren't going to make it. So it was very difficult to be there, but there was this sense of energy that is just like you're describing.
Okay. I am so sorry. I can't, like, that level of trauma is unimaginable. And I can imagine why the healing process has been hard and limited. I mean, I can't, again, it's an unimaginable thing that anybody should have to go through. And they're letting you know that they're okay. They're both okay. And they're actually, they're showing up as like twin stars. So like, I don't know if she looks up in the sky and like thinks about them, but they're both like kind of shining together at the same time. And they keep talking about the dogs. This doesn't feel like a dog that's in spirit now. This could be a dog that's here.
Well, they have 3 dogs.
Okay. Okay.
They're very much dog people.
Dog people. Okay. Would you understand the J name that they're bringing me to?
So, yeah, my sister's, my sister's name starts with J.
Okay.
And so does her firstborn daughter.
Okay. Does the firstborn daughter carry any of this grief?
Oh
I know
yeah.
that's a weird question because she's talking about this girl, and I feel like there's this almost like pressure on this child because of what happened. So I just need to bring and acknowledge that they see that as well, and I think this is just another permission slip to let everybody know it's all okay. And they are saying something about divine timing. There's also an older woman that's cradling both of them that feels deeply, deeply loving. I need to bring her up as well. So they're in incredible company. They're with people that love them. Yeah, and then they're showing me a rose. Which I need to bring forward as well. And they're also showing me a fireplace. I don't know if there's like a picture of them over the fireplace in their mom's house, but would you understand that?
I think that there is I think she has the statue of angels that's on
Uh-huh.
the mantle on the
Okay.
fireplace. Yep.
Like the angels. There we go. And is there like a beaded piece of jewelry that you would connect to either of these children?
Um, there could be. I don't think I would know
Okay.
about it, but I will ask her.
Okay. Did they get footprints? I know I like the little feetsy prints. They're
Yep.
showing me that plaster.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Send them so much love. Send them so much love. Okay. These children are beautiful. I'm so glad that we were able to connect you. And I just like to open this up if there's anything else you want to share, anything you want to ask, before the evening is done.
I just wanted to mention too that you said the letter D, and I, immediately thought of myself because my name's starting with a D, but their dad's name starts with a D.
Okay. Thank you for that
So,
validation.
yeah,
Oh my
I'm sure
God.
that was super significant, and I didn't want to miss letting you know that
One
because he's
other I'm so
wonderful.
sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah, they would not stop talking about just how like present he was for the whole process. I need to bring up Dalmatians. Would you understand why they're talking about Dalmatians?
Hmm. No.
Okay. It feels like the movie 101 Dalmatians. I'm just going to give that to you in case that makes any kind of sense later with maybe either you or your sister, or maybe even your niece. But there's something about 101 Dalmatians that they're bringing up. I also need to bring up, that's why I couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl when they were coming in, because they were coming in together as a boy and a girl. So
I
that's
wondered,
finally
yeah, I
figured.
wondered if that was the reason.
That
Yeah.
is, wow.
Yeah. I mean, everything you were saying, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, uh, wow.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Danielle, for coming up. Thank you for
Oh,
letting us
no.
share this sacred space with you. That was
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you so much. And you said this would be on your YouTube?
Yes, I will try to get this posted. I have tomorrow off. So by the end of tonight, if you want to message me or shoot me a DM, I can send you a direct link. And that way you can have it immediately as soon as it goes up.
Thank you so much for doing this. I just think that, the fact that you take the time to do something like this for people and just is such a beautiful gift. Thank you.
My pleasure, honestly. It's a privilege to be able to do this. I'm so happy that we were able to connect tonight.
Me too. Me too.
All
Thanks
right,
again.
love. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I'm emotional. Ooh, that one got me. Everybody, let's flood the chat with some love for Danielle and those two beautiful babies. Oh my goodness. That was, whew. Sometimes they get me. Sometimes they get me, man. Oh, there's so much love still coming through the channel, you guys. Holy moly. It's practice, Mamie. It's a lot of practice. When I first started professionally, it became very evident to me very quickly. I had to learn how to keep that in, to hold space for the client. But when it comes to children, it's always a little bit tricky for me. Um, that was beautiful. It took me until the end of the reading to figure out why I couldn't figure out the gender because they were both coming in together. That is amazing. That is amazing. Woo-wee, guys. Spirit's something else. Spirit really is something else. I saw Kaylee that you were getting postcards from that. Shonda, if you could just lovingly not spam the chat, baby. Okay. I'm a crybaby. I could never. The first time I ever connected with an infant, I had to stop talking for a solid 2.5 minutes because it got so emotional. And that was also I can do a story time about that while trying to respect the privacy of the reading. But Oh, Laura, if and when only you decide to come back, I would love to do a collab reading with you again. I love your energy in mediumship. Laura has done some of the more incredible demonstrations mediumship wise I've ever seen, and I just love her energy so much. But yeah, really quick story time about the first time I ever connected to a little on the other side. Uh, Again, I want to respect the privacy of the sitter, but at one point, the room we were talking about the energy of this child, and I was like, the child is angelic. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but I feel like there's an angel in the room right now. And all of a sudden, when I said that, the room got brighter. Like I mean, you know, mundanely, the sun came out from behind the clouds, but the timing was crazy. The entire room filled up with light, and she showed me a tattoo, and the name of the child meant angel. And like I had to just, like, she started like hysterically crying, and I had to just sit there in silence for like a solid 2.5 minutes because I couldn't keep my shit together. It was so beautiful and so heartbreaking, and holding space for that kind of grief is really, there's a different wound. There's a different frequency to the grief of a mother who has lost their child. I do have to validate and honor that. But the energy of that baby was really something else. That was the first time I ever kind of started wondering about, like, I think sometimes we have those experiences, or we can, where someone comes into this world so briefly, but their energy, it's like too high. Like it's too like this, and it doesn't quite mix with the density here. That is not to say that this realm is like unholy or anything. This realm is deeply sacred and holy. It's just a different density. And I think sometimes those babies come in as angels to be angels to us later in life, to send us messages, to teach us. Every time I have a reading, I cry my eyes out. Rose box holding my babies on top of my fire mantle. Always call them my stars. Oh, Kaylee. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so amazing. Do you guys have any questions? Again, if you want to guarantee a reading or book a one-on-one, the link is in my bio. Very limited schedule at the moment. I am kind of opening my schedule up week to week. You could always give me a follow on my Patreon, even at the free tier, to find out when my schedule is opening up. I do have a Patreon of the community over there is wonderful. I have a mentoring program on there too, in case you guys are trying to develop your own gifts. I've been running this mentoring program for 4 years now, and have just some outstanding students. The Patreon is also really great. I will start doing Patreon only mediumship sessions, I think, starting next month. But like, if you just want like a general reading or a mini reading, depending on the tier, and getting a sit down 45-minute reading is cost prohibitive, the Patreon is a very, very great way to get a lot of content and personal readings for very little money. So go ahead and check that out as well. I'm going to book and hope to reach who I can. Your poodle or your papa. What gifts do you help develop? Everything from channeling, meditation, tarot, mediumship, dream work I'm not as versed in, spirit guide work, galactic work, manifestation, mindfulness, nervous system regulation. It really depends on the student, if I'm being honest. Astrology, there's been 1 or 2 where we've talked about astrology a whole bunch. Yes, for a complete beginner. Absolutely. I love working with beginners because that means I can get you guys to get into the fundamentals that are super important that a lot of other spiritual practitioners just bypass entirely, which I think is incredibly reckless and they shouldn't be teaching. I've actually had a couple of conversations with my own students about other teachers that they're working with that are not on TikTok. So this isn't anybody knows, but the way their teaching styles, I'm just like, what the, like, I'm not an expert at anything necessarily. I don't consider myself to be an expert. I'm a forever student, but I do have 25 years of experience reading cards, and my entire life has been spent in the channel. So like, I got that going for me. I would love to work with you guys. Is there a specific reason why other mediums have an issue connecting with my dad? It depends, Ashley. It really depends. I'm going to be like so fucking for real. And I feel like a lot of mediums are maybe a little bit afraid to say this. I'm not. It really depends on where the medium is, how good they are, and not like it's a skill you develop like any other skill. It could be that your dad might not vibe energetically with whoever the medium is yet. And I say yet because there's always, there will be someone eventually that you connect to. Sometimes as the sitter, it is important for us to make sure that we are open, that we aren't putting too much expectation onto the reading. This is what I think a lot of mediums are afraid to say to people. And I don't know why, because I think if I knew this going into some of my readings, I would have taken it into consideration. If you're putting a whole lot of pressure, like you're really like, I need to talk, like that can interfere with the triangulation of energy. It can, period. I'm not guilting anybody. I'm not victim blaming anybody. I'm just telling you how energy works. And this is also how manifestation, to a certain degree, that there can be impacts on this as well. When we're putting a lot of contraction around a certain expectation, that can, like, imagine your energy field being like this, it suddenly goes like this. So that can make the connection a little bit more difficult. So I always encourage people, that's why at the beginning of these sessions, I say, let's take a deep breath. Let's open up. Let's say thank you. Let's just see what happens. Let's know that no matter what happens, they're always with us, right? So that is, again, I wish more mediums would tell people that. It's not to stress you guys out. I think it's just like, oh, let's go in with an open idea, right? The only other time I've really had a difficult time connecting, sometimes the spirit wants to talk to somebody else. That's fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I had a client recently, her grandparents, I could tell did not like not that they didn't like my energy. That's not the correct term. Their energy would have gone better with somebody else, right? Also, I've had one sitter a long time ago. They had I didn't know this until we were like 20 minutes into the reading and things were not quite clicking. The sitter had a huge grudge against the person that I was bringing through. And I did not know that. And that created a little bit of limitation as well. And that's fine. The sitter is where they are. It's not that wherever you are in your process with grief is okay. It's fine. It's valid, right? Do I recommend certain things for beginners, or can you tell what someone's calling is? I think that's up to the person to decide what your calling is. I can sometimes tap into energy and, like, especially with body scanning and like chakra scanning, I can sometimes pick that up. But when I teach, I really like to find out what you're interested in, like what gets you excited. Let's talk about that. And then sometimes I can even look at your chart and figure, like, your learning style will sometimes show up with your Mercury placements and sometimes even your moon placements, believe it or not. And we can go that direction. My mom passed in 2021 and she never came to any medium I'm spoken with. I did a reading for somebody a couple of weeks ago. She'd been waiting 20 years to hear from the person. It was another little that came through. So sometimes it's really a matter of divine timing. It doesn't mean that your loved ones aren't with you. That's not what it means. And it doesn't mean that they don't want to talk to you. It doesn't mean that they don't want to communicate with you. That is one thing I need to emphasize, like so intensely. Okay. Ashley, thank you for the follow. If I could use myself as an example. Okay. I was doing a lot of mediumship development a couple of years ago. I was doing mentoring, I was doing classes, I was doing all this stuff. And I kept wondering why my friend Gabe wouldn't come through. I wanted him to come through so bad. There was that expectation, right? I really wanted him to come through. And I was like, why won't he come through? He passed away in 2009. And finally, at the very end of my mentoring, I think it was the mentoring or the development, he finally came through. He poked his head through. I was the sitter and somebody else was reading him. And literally the message that the medium gave to me from him was, I'm here. Like dummy, like, hi, like, I'm around, like, you can feel, like, you felt me for 20 years. Like, it was so funny because that's very him too. That was like very his personality. So just, they're around. Please trust that, like, I was like, why won't he come? He was like, bitch, I'm always around you. I'm always with you. They need to heal and rest before they can reach out. Yeah, I sit in the power. I do meditation. It's very, very important that as mediums, we take care of ourselves, that we honor our bodies, that we honor our need for rest. I am chronically ill, chronically inflamed, and chronically in pain. So that's why I don't schedule my TikTok lives ever, because I can't stick to any one schedule. Like, even having a full-time job right now is a lot for me. These were all spirit-led. I typically only do spirit-led on here when it comes to mediumship. I feel like that's most of my family. Do you guys have any other questions? I can hang out for just a little bit longer, and then probably should go to bed. I've had dreams of past loved ones. They don't say, yeah, and that is definitely a sign of visitation from them as well. That was actually when the friend that I'm referencing, that I was like, why won't he come through? 2 days after he passed, and it was, I actually got very emotional on TikTok yesterday talking about this. Very emotional passing. It was a self-unaliving. Destroyed our community, and but 2 days after it happened, I had a dream about him, and I hugged and kissed the shit out of him because I was so happy, and he was so happy. He was glowing, he was made of light, and I knew when I woke up in the morning that he was okay. And that was my introduction into mediumship. Actually, was his passing, was that experience. So that's answering. I didn't even see that question, Sarah. That's how I got into it. I didn't know that's what I was getting into. I unfortunately had a number of other friends in that same community pass away over the 15 more or so years that I was in Boston. And sometimes I would dream about them. I would use cards because I didn't know what evidential mediumship was yet. And I would always do like a past, present, and future of them. Because I was, I think I was in too much grief to go deeper than that. And every single time with each one of those friends, the future card, the world card. And if you guys know tarot, like that's, like I would just start sobbing because the world card, for those of you that don't read tarot, is fulfillment and completion. It was every single one of them were coming through the cards to tell me this wasn't an accident. I did what I came here to do, and I'm good, and I'm happy, and I'm okay. Every single one of 5 of them that I can think of, that all happened. So where do I start with evidential mediumship? I keep feeling so pulled to it. So I know, I don't want to say this and then be wrong. So Dana Willie was doing a bunch of mediumship development circles. I'm not sure she still is. I would say start going to mediumship development circles, read some books about it. Michael Mayo is somebody to check out too. He has a whole school where you can sign up for classes, and do it in that direction if that's something you want to do. There are a host of ethical mediums on this app. I recommend going to demonstrations like this. Go to other mediumship demonstrations so you see how they work. Everybody's vibe is a little bit different. Like the way that John Edwards works versus the way that Laura Bomdiggity works, versus the way that Matthew Tao works. Like everybody has their own take on it. But I find that the ethical mediums on TikTok all come at it with the same level of reverence and respect and boundary holding. I've been seeing repeating numbers like crazy over the past 2 weeks. I always keep an open mind to hopefully get a particular message from them. Laura, you're still here. Yeah, everybody. And sometimes I'll scroll through a couple of mediumship. I typically don't find the ones that are doing it poorly. My algorithm is pretty spotless, if I'm being honest, because I keep really good company and I'm very, very selective about who I follow on this app, both evidential mediumship wise and psychic medium wise, because I'm in both of those communities. But you can sometimes tell when somebody is grasping, right? If you ever see an evidential mediumship session where the medium is asking well, when's his birthday? What's that? That's not evidential mediumship. That's them fishing for information so they can try to sound smarter than they probably feel in the moment because they're not connecting. Any other questions, you guys? Definitely follow Dana Willie, follow Michael Mayo. I don't know that John Edwards does class. I fucking love John Edwards. I love watching that man work. I love his energy. I felt like once I saw John Edwards work, I felt a lot less self-conscious about my personality and how it comes through in readings because I'm very, very neurodivergent, and I have a very I don't censor myself very often, and I while still respecting people and holding space, I'm very me. And when I see John Edwards work and I see the way that he is so authentic and the way that he presents his mediumship, that felt like a huge permission slip for me to do what I was doing and stop trying to be like other people. Cause that was a big stumbling block for me for a while, was trying to be like X, Y, and Z medium instead of doing it the way that I feel comfortable doing it, if that makes sense. But John Edwards is such a he's so fucking for real. I trust him. And I don't trust too many people, period. So, ADHD, autism. Yeah. It's ADHD, and a half, and trauma and complex trauma. He did. Oh, Laura, that's awesome. Oh, hi, Danny. Hey guys, do me a favor. Give this man, Danny, who's being so kind and gifting me roses right now. Give this man a follow. This is my best friend of 30 years husband. He does lives on TikTok at least once a day called Nature and Recovery. He takes people on these beautiful hikes throughout San Diego. Sometimes he'll take you to the beach and you can watch the surfers. And he talks about sobriety. He talks about health, grief. There's all kinds of wonderful conversations that he has. He's helping people in real time. When you're talking about angels, Danny is definitely doing the angelic work on this earth, getting people help where they need it. So please give him a follow. It would mean the world to me if you did that. Thanks for the roses, Danny. And Danny, I have questions for you because I feel like somebody might have been giving you postcards yesterday on a live. I don't know if Jess mentioned it to you or not, but I didn't want to weird you out because I, again, like to get consent before just bombing people with information. But I really do feel as though I had something happen, and it happened like he came in right when you came in the chat. So you did. Okay. I didn't want to weird you out. But it did feel like a giant fucking postcard or billboard because I did end up finding somebody that connected with more and more of the evidence as it came through. But the main ones were like the golf, the fast cars, the scotch. There was something about the bling and the personality. And I was like, I think I know who this is. So anyway. Postcards. I do. In-person readings, yes. I am in San Diego and I need to open up my schedule. I work out of a little spa in Ocean Beach. So Jen, if you are in San Diego, send me a DM. Yeah, the golf guy. Yeah, you were here for that. It was like the most interesting way I've ever had that. I don't know if I've ever had a golfer come through from the other side, but I could feel what I felt in my body was the twist, like the twist from smacking the ball. Like I could feel all the muscles on this side engage from like the pivot or whatever. He was a character. Yes, he was. And a number of people were getting postcards from that. I do readings on Zoom. Yes. Danny, thank you so much. Yes, I do. So, the link to schedule with me is in my bio. The only reading I don't do on Zoom and I do over the phone is the galactic channeling because I have to pace around. Their energy is so intense that I have to be moving. So it's not conducive to the galactic channeling sessions. Everything else, yes. Look at that banana. Thanks for the banana, Danny. Danny Nana. No, I'm trying to make some kind of joke out of that, but I love you. I hope you guys are doing good. I miss you. I've known Jess, Danny's wife, since I was in 3rd grade. I've known Danny for almost 20 years now at this point because they've been married for a long time. Their kids are literally the light of my fucking life. They are my I know we're not supposed to have favorites, but they're my favorite. They're my fucking favorite. They're the fucking best. Good night, Laura. Thank you so much for hanging out. I love you. I am too. I got to go to bed. It is late. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and holding space. Tonight was beautiful. That was really something else. They are. I am the crazy auntie. I love being the crazy auntie. And I'm getting, I don't know, Danny, if he's into it, but I'm getting his son into Gachiakuta and One Piece and My Hero Academia. They just come over here and we hang out and watch anime and then we go to the beach. It's the fucking best. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. I will see you next time. I'll probably be on here tomorrow. We'll see about tomorrow. You guys take care. Okay, bye.